and welcome to the Adopt a Class Field Trip webinar. My name is Courtney Bergtorf and I am the Program Manager at Adopt a Class, and I appreciate your time today as we discuss field trips and the Adopt a Class program. Some highlights for today's webinar: we will talk about the importance of field trips, the planning stages, day of expectations, field trips do's and don'ts, and of course, if you have any questions about field trips and field trip planning as a part of the Adopt a Class program, please reach out to your Adopt a Class team member or visit our website at www.aacmentors.org. The importance of field trips. According to a 2022 study out of Brigham Young University, Hopkins University, and the Heritage Foundation, students who participated in culturally enriching field trips have higher test scores, perform better in class, are absent less often, have fewer behavioral infractions, and have increased cultural conscientiousness over time. While the COVID-19 pandemic put a pause on many necessary programming in the Adopt a Class program and for our schools, we really appreciate all the extra effort and steps many of our mentor teams took to ensure students had access to virtual field trips, but we're really excited to be 100% back in person. So if you'd like to read more about that study, the link is there. Planning your field trip. The first part of the planning stage is choosing a destination. For the Adopt a Class program, group mentoring for college and career exploration, back to your place of business is best. This reinforces the relationship with your mentees and exposes them to opportunities that expand their own career horizons. You can be sure to review location specifics with your teacher and discuss any concerns that you all may have, including parking, small spaces within the organization that you may be touring. For many of our manufacturing mentors, machinery or loud noises. Please discuss these prior to solidifying your destination and plans for your field trip. Please let coworkers know that students will be in the building that day and the locations that you plan on using, as well as your schedule. If the place of business is not an option, consider another educational option such as the Cincinnati Museum Center, Cincinnati Art Museum, Cincinnati Observatory, iSpace, etc. We have a whole Adopt a Class field trip database available on our website as well at aacmentors.org/field-trip. The second portion of the planning stage is choosing a day and time. So work with your teacher on what day and time works best for your class in terms of scheduling for testing, holidays, school drop-off and pickup times, etc. Remember that field trips are about 2 to 4 hours in length from start or pickup from school to finish, dropping back off at school. We also highly encourage that you inform your Adopt a Class staff member of the date and time of your field trip. We love to attend field trips and make it a priority to be there for you and your students. So as you are working the planning stages of your field trip, be sure to keep your Adopt a Class staff member informed. Busing, the third portion of the planning stage. Your teacher or the resource coordinator at your school is the expert in making busing arrangements to transport your students, and they are the ones that should take care of booking the bus. So please be sure to collaborate to ensure all details are covered for busing. We do request that all mentor teams, except civic groups and nonprofit organizations, cover busing costs. For most field trips, the cost is between $250 and $300 and does vary depending on the time and distance of travel for the field trip. So as I mentioned, the teacher or resource coordinator will take care of booking the bus, but to reimburse the school for the cost of the bus, the mentor team will likely be asked to have a check written to the school directly. Please talk with your teacher about the school's preference as you are arranging this. Civic groups and nonprofits, we highly encourage that you apply for the field trip grant on our website that is generously provided by the Dater Foundation. And again, most buses will accommodate an average of 45 to 60 riders, so keep that in mind as you are planning your field trip. Here is an example of where to find the field trip grant on our website. If you go to our website at aacmentors.org, please hover above the Resource Center tab, go to Field Trips, and about midway down the page, you will see the button to apply for the field trip grant. Please note that your teacher needs to be the one that completes the form on behalf of the mentor team. So you will work together to collaborate all information, but then the teacher will be the one to apply for it. And again, we would love to thank the Dater Foundation for their ongoing support in the Adopt a Class program and for our field trips. The fourth part of the planning stage, don't forget lunch. So lunch can be someplace on site in a lunchroom or restaurant. Many times the facility at the place of business will have a cafeteria on site that you can utilize for lunch. Check with your on-site management to see if this is an option on the day and time that you plan to have lunch for your field trip. Your students can also bring a brown bag lunch to your field trip. Since most, if not all, of the students are eligible for free or reduced lunch from the school, work directly with the teachers to have these lunches packed and the students can bring them to the destination. You can also order in, and you may find a simple solution is to order lunch from a local restaurant that will be delivered to your field trip location. But as always, be mindful of allergies in the classroom. Your teacher will have a full list of allergies of everyone in your classroom. Expectations for the day of your field trip. Field trips take anywhere between 2 and 4 hours from start to finish, so be mindful of this as you are planning day of activities. Think through all the different spaces, departments, or fascinating people or occupations you want to expose your students to during their time at your place of business. You can even break up your time into small activities so that students are moving throughout the space cohesively at different times and it all works together. But we do encourage that you plan as closely to exact times as possible for the different activities in these different departments so that your day goes as smoothly as possible. Beforehand, talk with your teacher or even your students directly about specific interests they may have prior to your field trip and try to incorporate those into your field trip where possible. And then of course, please plan your activities carefully and do have a backup plan should weather, activities, or student behavior not go according to plan. Please be mindful that your mentees are in a new environment and out of their normal routine, so having this backup plan is a key to success. If interested, please go to our website and download the field trip agenda template. It is available on the Field Trips Resources page of our website. You can download it and use it for your planning purposes and then distribute it to your teacher, to any chaperones, to your business, or anybody who will be participating in the field trip so that everybody has all of the information that they need. Field trip do's and don'ts. Do inform your Adopt a Class staff member of the date and time of your field trip. We love attending field trips, so we will make it a priority for either ourselves or another adopted class team member to be there for your field trip. Please do check in with your teacher about a week or so before your field trip to make sure all students have permission forms signed and are approved to go on the field trip. Please do have your team wear something that makes them easily identifiable on the field trip day. This could be all bright colors that are all the same, or a corporate logo or specific shirts. So this will help all the students stay with the group during the field trip and know who is and who is not participating specifically in the field trip. Please give clear instructions to the students multiple times and make sure they are heard and understood. Check for understanding of these instructions by getting a few of the students to repeat them back to you. And please do provide ground rules for the field trip. Some areas to cover in terms of ground rules are voice levels, bathroom rules, and off-limit spaces. We also encourage that you, your team, and your students all have name tags for the field trip. You can print them out, have students make their own. Either way, this is very helpful for conversation and connection throughout the field trip day. Now for some don'ts. Please don't forget permission slips. Your school will have a standard permission slip form that they will send home with their students, and this is your teacher's responsibility for securing the signed permission slips. But again, be sure to reach out to your teacher about a week out from your field trip date to make sure everything is covered. Don't forget to have a backup plan in case of weather activities or student behavior does not go according to plan. Don't forget to take pictures. Your adopted class team member or another adopted class team member will make an effort to be at your field trip. However, if one of you on the team would like to take photos, be sure to double check with your teacher who can and can't be photographed in the classroom. We recommend doing this by reaching out to your teacher ahead of time and requesting that all students that cannot be photographed be kept in the same group. This avoids taking photos of them much easier and makes the day much more smooth and enjoyable for everyone. You can do this by having colored lanyards or a colored dot on their name tag indicating whether they can or cannot be photographed. We also say please do not be alone with a student at any time during the field trip. For example, if a student needs to use the restroom, let your teacher know and they will accompany the student to the restroom. And that is the overall do's, don'ts, expectations, and tips and tricks for adopted class field trip success. Again, if you have any questions about the adopted class field trip process, please reach out to your adopted class team member or visit our website at www.aacmentors.org.